77. What rock do you want back?
Good morning, everyone. Okay, we're on live here. My name is Sean Joyce, Susan Lang with me at our broadcast location, and we are here for the 2016 Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling live from the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon.
Good morning, Sean, and welcome, curling fans. This is pretty exciting here to be broadcasting our national championship for mixed doubles.
Kerry Tarasoff is our producer, and running the control panels to my left, we have we've been doing the provincial four-player championships for a few years, but got some new equipment here today, and boy, we had everything working last night, and already here this morning we're having a few little issues with microphones, so please bear with us. Full slate of 8 games on tap this morning. We're going to feature the game on sheet 4. Partnership of Jeff Walker and Laura Crocker are playing against Hugh and Janet Murphy.
We're bumping it. Bump.
The Murphys were semi-finalists in this event last year in Ottawa.
Ooh, good throw to start. Shot. Right on top. It's good.
In or out?
So just underway. If you're not familiar with the mixed doubles format, the way the end starts is that 2 stones are pre-positioned. One stone is a guard, and they have 9 different spots on the ice where it could go. Well, 3 different levels, and then there's a power play that we'll talk about later on. So there's spots on the corner of the 8-foot on both sides as well. And for this particular event, at least to begin with, they've decided that the guard will be placed just in front of the spot closest to the house. And then there's also stone placed at the back of the 4-foot.
Okay. Oh, on your way there.
So we have the Crocker Walker group here. They are playing the red stones with the Murphys shooting yellow. Jeff Walker here with his first shot.
I think we're there.
Second thrown rock of this
Top
team.
4. Go ahead.
Already the
Top 4.
Crocker Walker duo sitting very strongly in the house with
Top
a
4.
very nice opening shot from Laura.
It's still up there.
Janet just came
We
down
line it
trying
up
to
onto the-
follow Laura's shot and just ticked off on that center guard and rolled over to the corner of the house there. What's really different too with mixed doubles, and we'll be going through the rules and the pre-positioning of the stones, what happens if you blanket end and all those types of things, but you're not able to remove a rock from play until the 4th thrown stone. You can take your own out or throw your own through,
You can't take your own out.
you can't even take your own out.
And we're not just talking about the free guard zone now. It's any stone at all.
Any stone in play, but you are allowed to throw your own rock through the rings if you're heavy on a draw.
Yes. Yeah.
So again, it gets very complicated, very messy, very quickly. But I think that's the component that's really drawing people to this game is there's a lot of strategy, a lot of decision making that has to happen quickly, and everybody is so engaged in every shot.
And interesting to note here so far in this first end, one of the rules that was changed for this season is you don't actually have to have somebody in the house holding the broom.
Just through.
And that's brand new for this season.
Good,
Would have allowed the sweeper to be right there ready when you release the rock. And we notice here in the first end, both teams are using somebody to hold the broom. And we'll see probably a few different approaches to that from teams as the weekend goes on.
I think too, as this is everybody's first game on new ice, a couple of Nutana players playing in this event, but most of our teams have come from out of the city and out of the province. So in order to get used to the ice, get a read for the ice, I think it's probably a strong move to have someone stay in the house here early on to get a feel of how the ice is moving.
Big slow slide though, slow slide.
So Janet Murphy, team from Mississauga. Janet herself, a very successful curler.
This is guarding it, eh?
No. Okay, maybe.
Again, the appeal for this game is, yes, we have a lot of very well-known star curlers playing, but we also have some very strong curlers that we just don't know about or are not quite as familiar with because they're not out on that weekly tour where we're seeing the TV games. But that's not to say there's any lack of talent from these teams.
There'll be a lot of talent out here, and one of the things that they have to get used to is when you don't have the full sweep, you're not going to get quite the same precision. And we just saw there, the call it looked like was a guard, and that was the first time we saw them not use somebody to hold the broom. He was in place to sweep that rock all the way down. She came a little deep, and boy, I think if they had realized it was going to be as deep as it was, he could have swept that a little bit and probably gotten it in behind cover
Back
for second
four.
shot.
Back 4.
Jeff Walker looking to make the tap now.
Back 4.
Sweeping on the outside edge of that corner, trying to hold that line for a little bit.
Just rubs the
That's
yellow
probably
stone.
key,
If he
not
doesn't
back
rub
four.
that yellow, I think he's got enough weight to make the tap for shot stone.
Where were you throwing? Roughly here?
Yeah, geez, I thought that was going to be a lot
What's
easier
that?
than that.
Okay.
Where are we putting it here?
Yep. That's good.
Another really fun aspect of this
So I
game
don't think you can ever.
is how quickly
Yeah, I don't
the
think you can
pace
ever move
moves
that
along.
floor. So
Yeah, for 8 ends, the two teams have 22 minutes. They do
so.
get 2 1-minute timeouts as well.
shoot.
So Janet has come down to
Thought I threw
sweep
both of
this
those
stone.
You're throwing it
Second
in
one moved like I wanted the first one to
more
again.
It's fun watching husband and wife teams. You say they've played this event before, but some people aren't brave enough to play with their spouse. Sort of, I think they file that under the hanging wallpaper type of scenario.
Eighty, but soft. Tight.
No, just let it die.
So again, just looking for the tight guard here.
Staying out
Let
a
it
little
die.
bit, but probably has top 12-foot weight. Coming
Okay.
into the 8-foot.
It had to be tempting to bring another one in.
There's no way
because
you can kill this and this. So
At this
Yeah.
point, you have to think that Jeff and Laura are looking at some kind of a run. If they could kill that one yellow off the
7/8.
back of the 4-foot, it could be for as many as 3 if they can stick the raised stone.
I can get the rock back if you're tight. So
I'm
if you're gonna
throw-
err anywhere tight, I can bring it.
I think I should.
I think you throw peel because it's gonna be might even be a little sticky here.
Okay. Edge or rock?
Yeah, I'd say edge. I can hold it pretty straight, I think.
So Laura Crocker's
This is the one problem we have when we don't have somebody in the house, and we're not directly in behind the sheet, but I think she's got to play the double raise. I don't think she can see the red directly. So she is. She's playing the yellow onto the red. Going to catch it just a little thin, but touches the other stone. It'll
Try.
still be the yellow at the back
Yellow.
4-foot that counts 1. So we've got one end in the books, and
Good throw here.
Hugh and Janet Murphy will take a
What did
1-0 lead into the second end. Couple of, we've talked
I
about
did it
some of the
just
rule
off.
differences as well between this and regular
Drug a little
drill.
more
A
than
few
we
more
thought.
to note. There are no,
That's okay. You
well,
threw it good
shouldn't
anyway.
say that. You can blank an end, but you lose last rock. I was going to say there are no blank ends. That they are very rare because of the rocks in play to begin with, and the fact that you can't hit early.
That's right. That's one of the interesting twists. And actually, technically, you lose the decision.
The decision, yes, that's
A
correct.
team
You don't
could
actually
opt
have to
to-
take last rock. Yeah.
That's right. A team could, if you blank, I could opt to try to steal again, but nobody's ever taken that option. Very rarely have we ever seen that,
I didn't.
but it is there.
Just that way.
Yeah,
Just
but-
a,
And I would
Dot,
expect
right?
it's less
Yeah.
likely
Just
now.
supposed to see
The
it,
rule
yeah.
last year,
I think that's pretty good.
the pre-positioned stone
good?
in the house,
Close enough.
and the team with the
My
stone
eyes
in the
aren't good
house is the
enough.
team that throws first, but it was behind the button, or pardon me, the team that throws last. It was directly behind the
Ah, we
pinhole,
had
so if you
our
made that
chances there.
freeze, you were in great shape.
I'd
Now
say
that
both
the
of them.
stone has
You
been
good?
changed, it's the back of the 4-foot, so there's a little bit more room
I
in
might throw
there.
that 7 on my
That's right.
first
There are
one.
2 shots now
case
to
it
get
is
that
also-
button
Yeah.
protected, and I think that's,
62.
you're right. It's a real reason why people are not opting to
Then
go
don't
for a
sweep.
steal position if they have that choice.
The game, the mixed doubles game in
Yep, line,
total
hard,
is
line,
still in
line,
its
hurry.
infancy, and the strategies are evolving.
Hurry.
A couple of rule changes this year has meant that there's going to be a little bit more of a back to square one in evolving that
Either one.
strategy.
I think they're-
John
looks
coming
pretty
around
good.
that
Get to the same spot.
guard
Just
very
on the side.
nicely. Just a little tap back there. An interesting
grabs it.
team
Totally
format
up to you.
here. I would say
Okay.
3/4 of
I
our
think both of
teams
them are
will
fine. You
have
just wanna get
the female
center line
player
split.
throwing rock 1 and 5, having the male throwing 2, 3, and 4. Again, it's each team's choice. There's no way that says that you have to stay with this. And the other interesting aspect is you can also change that out at any
Hey,
point
weight's
in the
good.
game. After
Team.
every end, you can change the throwing rotation of your team. And there's an unlimited number of times. You can change after every end if you so wish.
Well,
Laura Crocker looking to
okay.
Good thing, don't. Right
tap
there.
that back a little bit.
One of the other
sliding
innovations
good
that we
now,
may get a
too.
chance to see, and
I'd say they're
I
the
happen
same
to peek
speed.
over and see it already in use once, is if we do get a measurement, they're not using the traditional measuring stick. For the first time, they are using the laser measures.
94.
Okay, line's close. Yep. Rim! Rim! Line's good! Rim!
So that
Rim!
split call there from
Off the
John indicating a
inside.
94 interval
Rim.
by
You're good.
Janet certainly indicates that the ice is nice and quick right off the start here.
And nice finish here. That gets to the inside of that
Good puck.
stone, creates a nice angle. And so now this would be the first stone at the end where you're actually able to remove a stone from play.
Bite the button.
Yeah.
And this is something we'll see a lot of. Just because you're able or legally allowed to remove a stone from play doesn't mean you can find a path to do it. So a lot of times you get in,
Weight's
you end
good.
up having to
Stay
play
close
these
for
draws,
line.
and you're going to see
Yellow
some
line a
big
bit.
ends. There was only 5 thrown
Yellow
stones
line.
plus the pre-position. We've
Top
only got
four.
6
Yeah.
stones in play,
T.
and there are a lot of 4 and 5
Little heavy,
enders
T.
in mixed double play.
Back button.
It's just about
Back
a
forward.
3-ender
Back
is the new
I don't want
2-ender.
to come off that one. Yep. Go, go, go. Whoa.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
Jeff Walker lead for Brad Gushu. That's a pretty common shot for him to play, that come around getting to the corner of
4
the
inches.
button. But again, the adjustment you have to make when you don't have full sweep. The little bit that you rely on your
move
sweepers
it up
for
5 or
is
6 inches. 4 and
gone
3.
here.
Line's good. It's gonna need to curl. Line's good. Curl.
For a little tap here to perhaps sit Yellowstone in the pocket of those 2 reds. It'll be very difficult to remove this.
Unless Janet was a little full on that in-turn doesn't seem to be curling quite as much as
move
that
it
out-turn
around.
where Jeff got in there nicely
Play-
with even
play
a
the
little
hit and
more
roll.
weight.
Or double or
Put that stone in a real nice position.
Can't get it out, but you can move it.
okay. Yeah.
Do you want to throw peel then?
The double's real thin.
Okay.
Normal's good.
Very thin, but Laura's right. If they can get some separation between the yellow rock and the back red, that'll
Even.
certainly help set up for the next shot.
Yeah.
Keep their shooter here somewhere in front of this button.
Yep.
Now this will be
Whoa.
a little bit of a different
Yeah.
shot for the
Whoa,
Jeff
whoa,
playing
whoa,
playing peel.
whoa.
You don't get to do that
Whoa.
as a lead very
Whoa.
often. I know when my lead gets to throw a big weight shot, he almost jumps out of his shoes. He's so excited.
Shoot.
Hoping that that would curl up a little
Sorry, I
bit
thought
more.
you were
Yeah,
a
he
little
needed to hit that
flatter.
a lot thinner. He had to,
I didn't realize there
No,
was a
you're
shot.
right.
at least hit that yellow enough
I
to
didn't realize there was a
unlock
shot.
it.
Yeah,
At
we
this
should-
point, it's almost
was
just a
thinking they
question
were-
of
we were
how
in the
many
middle.
yellow's going to score. It's
No,
very tough
I wanted to
with
just
the number of
release one
stones you
of
got
the
left.
back ones. You were never going to get it to go very far. But
Interesting listening to Jeff and Laura there,
What?
working
We're
on their
locked in there.
communication. He would have thrown that rock a lot differently if he'd known they were
Linesman.
facing shot rock.
I think we gotta
So
play the
the
center one somehow
quirks that
and
you have to
hopefully
work out
kill-
with new teammates, whereas the Murphys have had a lot of experience
Whoa.
together. They've got that communication part
Whoa.
already figured out.
Some of that comes from the rush. You know,
Whoa.
the 22 minutes, you're a little tight for time. You've got to be moving. Well, there's a bit of a mistake. She gets that roll off, and there
Sorry,
might
man.
be enough angle there now
I mean,
to
it's going on to the
try to
six,
play the
but-
double.
So
She stays on top of that
Yeah,
anywhere.
even if
there's
I
no
skinny
shot available.
that, move it around. Try to miss it, and
To come sweep or hold?
I can sweep it.
Again, likely with the weight that's coming down here for this shot. just as valuable for Laura to stay in the hack here, or stay in the house.
Play for nose. Just a hair high.
And I think, as you said, here's a lead. Look at the shot he gets to play here. This is now what's fun about mixed doubles.
Whoa! Yeah! Whoa! Yeah! Whoa!
Get out there.
Well, one thing
Jeff
that's
getting-
not different about any kind of curling, when
line
you hear
call.
that yeah, whoa, you know it's close. Makes contact with that shot stone, moves it out to the edge of the forefoot, does lose both reds at
Squirted
the
further than
back,
I
but
actually thought of it.
it is now red sitting one at the top of the forefoot, and that stone's buried.
It's good. You got to be careful now.
And roll.
Roll it under.
Well,
They
we
kinda
know too
rolled it
that
here.
out-turn come around behind that
Sit two.
guard is possibly there for the tap. So still a couple of options that the Murphys have to be aware
What
of.
kind of weight do you want to throw?
Oh, back 12.
Both of them going down
There
to
would be a good
Don't
angle
sweep
on the
this
red
shot.
double, except that yellow at the side of the forefoot is in the way, so she's going to have to play. Or pardon me, it'll be Hugh throwing
can
this
see
stone, I
edge.
believe, isn't it?
That's right. Jeff accomplished an awful lot with that shot.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So I might aim at their red rock.
Yeah. In that time zone anyway. In that time zone anyway.
Yeah.
So it's got to play a delicate little tap back. It's going to have to get some finish around the guard. Now we know they will do that here.
So the
Yeah,
Murphys
sharp
from
room.
Yep.
Mississauga, Ontario,
Yep, go.
looking to
Okay, easy, easy. Yep, go.
tap back,
Easy.
get to this red shot rock.
Whoa, whoa. Curl, curl, curl.
So asking Janet to switch the sweep position on that
All
rock,
right.
knowing that this one has to curl up just a little bit.
Okay.
And it'll come up light now. Decision here for
Shoot.
It's definitely a
Crocker,
shot over there.
because there's a
Well, you got enough air.
kind of a double available there for three.
Throw a
She's
board
off
even
the
if
one
you
yellow
roll
into
into
the
it.
red, push that red into the other yellow. Might be able to score three here. That's what Jeff's looking at.
Well, you could play this. This is almost the same thing. Even if you throw a hack, you can't go through the hole. There's no hole. Okay, there's no hole there. Yeah.
Having some intermittent issues with
I think you
Laura's
got
mic.
enough.
Apologies.
Even if you're air wide and go off the red, you can still get two. Like you can't. There's no way you can squirt through there. Yeah, I think you throw board, play it nice and tight. I can hold it. Board weight. I think you throw it, yeah, right on the like almost middle of the yellow, just outside the middle of the yellow with board weight. I can hold it.
Yes, certainly we know from Jeff sweeping on the Brad Gushu team, his sweeping prowess is excellent. So that's just
board.
so reassuring in the hack. To hear that you've got a sweeper that's got that much control over your throw, over your stone.
So two parts to this one. She needs to get a bit of a roll to make sure she gets second shot rock.
Okay, good shot.
Didn't catch it quite thin enough to move the second yellow out, but does pick up her 2 points.
For sure, that too was the main objective. The three would have just been bonus. So Laura threw a very solid throw there and accomplished what they needed to do.
That was,
Take a 2-1 lead.
That was pretty tough. You'd have to hit it
You have to throw it
real
harder.
thin and hit it, throw it hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a bit more speed and you get your three.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough though because there wasn't a ton of room.
Yeah,
And I didn't want to overthrow it and nose it and not get the.
Yeah. I hear you.
So Laura explaining
Couple
exactly
games in,
the
you'll have
thinking
that
two
sort
is
of
better
comfort with the
than
ice.
not scoring two. But again, this is the other really interesting part about mixed doubles. It's kind of a lonely game. There's nobody to talk to other than your opposition.
Because Janet completely
So
killed my weight with her.
we've noticed that at our Saskatchewan provincials that not only is it much
Yeah,
more
well, mine
social
was-
on the
mine was
ice
really
when you're
dry
interacting with your
rather
opposition
than
like that.
kiddish.
We noticed how it transpired afterwards upstairs. All the teams would come sit around because you don't have three other teammates to sit with.
Yeah.
You've just got your one partner. So again, that was, I think, one of the unexpected components of it is how much chit-chatting you do with the enemy.
Well, and at this event, you may find that, especially with some of these teams, even their own teammates don't know each other real well.
I like the end, I
I
think.
talked to Jeff and Laura before the
I
game.
think the end
Of course,
gets a
Jeff
little more
originally from Alberta, so I thought perhaps they knew each other from
All
Jeff's
30 of you
time
have been,
before he
we've
moved
both
out to
been heavy on
Newfoundland.
these.
And no, they met a couple of years ago at a Bonspiel in Grand Prairie. Jeff was actually subbing for another team, so they haven't known each other that long.
Well, Laura, being a Toronto native, did all of her junior curling out of that province and moved to Edmonton, I believe, about 2 years or so ago. 3 years ago, joined that program at the Saville Centre for all those U of A curlers. Hooked up with Chelsea Carey last year, and then now is curling with Kelsey Rock.
Follow her in the same way.
Slightly over curls the freeze, but sitting right on that stone.
Our last one? He didn't make the roll.
And that's one of the situations that's going to have to resolve itself as far as the strategy evolving. The last year, there, as I said, the freeze was an automatic. Now, she's made that freeze, but that leaves room to bring another stone on top of that and still be shot rock.
And still how precise these freezes have to be, as we can tell that just that little bit of a bump off just doesn't do anything to help build the end.
Little heavy, doesn't get the line, moves his own stone out from behind the red. That may actually benefit them later on. At least the freeze is broken. But for now, Jeff Walker, a chance to bring a second stone in. Try to get one in the top 4 foot area.
Certainly if he can corner freeze the angle so that that back yellow remains as a catcher, it'll pose a lot of difficulty to this Murphy team.
Fighting 4.
So again, one of these ironies, this game requires a lot of precision shooting, and yet you're doing it with only half the sweep capability that you've had before.
Get some extra curl on that one, rubs the guard. Does leave shot stone mostly covered, and with those 2 yellows behind it, it will be difficult to remove, but Janet Murphy likely looking to move that stone, and Hughes trying to get a gripper on so he can sweep this, and it's already well on its way.
Line's good. Weight's good too.
The choreography that it takes to play in mixed doubles is
Again,
another
the
big
rushing,
component.
you know you don't have a lot of time.
Room! Curl! Curl! Curl!
Hugh and Janet, as I mentioned, made the semifinals in this event last year, so they are familiar with how tight a lot of teams can get on the clock.
Same weight. Same weight. Top 4.
Talked about this sport possibly being more suited for some of our younger curlers,
Hey,
but
real good.
the Murphys are proving otherwise, as Janet has met that magic milestone of being able to play in another event. That milestone where your age number ends in a 0.
Just rubs off again, so there will be room to get that red stone out. Well, an interesting note for curlers here in Saskatchewan as far as that's concerned is that Dustin Kaltoff won the provincials in Saskatchewan with Sherry Anderson, and Sherry Anderson, of course, then went on to win the seniors and had to make a decision which event she was going to play in because they were both on at the same time. Sherry's in Digby, Nova Scotia right now, playing in the national seniors, and I believe went 6-0 through her round robin pool.
Currently leading the senior women's group there, so that's nice to see. But again, another one of our Saskatchewan teams, Donda Lee Dice, playing with her son Ryan, is another example of accomplished senior curler.
Job, doll.
Being able to more than hold her own out here.
Nice tap back made there, so now as you can see, yellow sitting 2, not really a good double available, and Jeff and Laura have to be a little careful not to kill that one lonely red they've got sitting at the back.
You're never going to kill.
Yellows are starting to pile up, and this is how those 4s and 5s happen.
That's right, very important for Jeff to keep a shooter here.
He's got to get across the face, and as you can see from that camera angle, he's he might not even have quite all of that yellow stone. It's edge to edge or perhaps just tucked just a hair. So he's going to have to get some finish here.
Well, Newtown ice does provide nice swingy ice. It allows you to throw all these shots.
Back line, just through.
So back line, he's still able to take 2 feet of ice and wait for the late curl here. Just sweeping hard on that outside corner there. Looks like he's got really nice weight.
Makes the tap, rolls over in front of that other yellow stone. It wasn't critical to get shot stone there. It was more important to get a stone that was difficult to remove, and he's done that.
Corner freeze.
So needing a shot to position for their next stone. Janet needs to corner freeze. Oh, a bit of a wobble, but good recovery. She was all reestablished there by the tee line, so no problem.
Line's good. Line's really good.
It's got a nice line coming in. It's going to be a little bit short, but should still leave them some angle.
Good. That's right. It's certainly better being that 1 foot short than being the 1 foot.
Yeah, she had the bump off on the last one.
The foam, tripping over the foam.
Them playing that.
Did you say that was a 58?
It probably goes through. I would hate to leave a double. I think you throw it this way. If it's a little light. Do you want to just hit the back 2 yellows? Want to hit the back 2 yellows? I'm just worried them running this and everything goes. Myself. Although the 8 shouldn't go too far. You could just guard.
Guard, give them 1. They don't have a shot for 2 if we put a guard in.
I don't see a shot for 2 right now. Yeah. Throw a guard somewhere. Let's talk about it now.
Go very conscious
I think you
of
throw
the
a guard
time
in that
clock.
hole.
Shot for 2 would certainly be the angle raise on that tight red.
Yeah,
mind you could let them play that tap. They might give us one more time.
I see a shot for 4 or 5. So.
But even the tap up for 2s, you can see that
guard.
rock on the left-hand side.
Throw a guard right in the hole.
There's not a lot of danger throwing that particular stone with lots of catches in the back.
Yeah.
Little out, like middle 12?
Yeah, I'd say.
Out there?
Yeah.
So looking to throw the guard here.
It's pretty tight.
Fill that
pretty
gap.
Tight.
Jeff talking about the guard being tight to the house. I don't think you want it too tight. It'll be the stone that they can run in.
Right to the yellow.
Well, right to the yellow is not good. That lines everything up.
Where do you want to hit it?
As much of it as I can see. This thing squirts off.
Yeah, you hit this on the
How about
nose.
here? Yeah.
You hit this on the nose, that top red goes out the side.
The
The red at the top, 4 foot, will make contact with that yellow. It should come pretty close to straight back, and I think we'll make contact with that red stone at the back of the 8 foot. The question will be how far does the red scoot to the side when it makes contact with the stone in the 4 foot. This could be 4, 5. I guess if everything stuck perfect, it could be for 6, but I think the 1 yellow coming straight back will roll out. Not sure he can get all the way to the nose either, and then the shooter may roll out as well.
Yep. Out. Hold it out.
Yeah,
Get it
looked
out.
like he was a little tight to
Hurry.
his broom there.
Out. Hold it out. No. Burn.
And this is
No,
going to be
so
on the
he-
guard. So we won't find out just how those were going to bounce around. It is a single point for the Murphys, and we're all tied up after 3 ends.
So often we see that happening where you're trying to bring your weight up for a shot like that and you end up throwing it tight. Rarely is it outside of the broom there, but I think John knew pretty much right out of his hand that that stone needed a lot of help to stay straighter.
Well, one of the issues that he had there, he knew he had to get as close to the nose as possible. You heard him talk about it before he went down to the other end, and Again, we're not seated
You have
directly
hammers,
in
so you're
behind
in
the
the house.
sheet, so we're
Yes.
just going off the
Just one
camera
red.
angle, but I don't think you could
Ace
see
for hammer,
all
ace
of the
for house.
stone.
Yeah.
And one of those things where he probably didn't want to be
Took us a while
wide.
to
If he hits
figure
it
that
thin,
out,
he stuffs it,
Yeah, sometimes it's confusing.
and then it's probably only for 2 anyway.
So you see the curlers positioning the front rock
I
up
know,
there.
it
There
was just
are
a
little
different game,
dots,
right?
little markers in the ice. There are actually 9 of them, based
Ah, it's
on
got a
if
bit
the
tight.
officials
Sorry.
deem the ice is very swingy or very straight or
What's that?
No biggie.
nicely
Who's
swingy.
touching
So there are
I'd
3
rather you mix it that way than
markers even on the
somehow leave
center
them
line,
shot.
and you have and then the official tells you whether to put it
For the
in front of the marker or behind the marker. And then there are subsequent parallel markers on the center, basically the mid 8-foot line in order to set up corner guards if they ever choose to set up the power play corner guard.
Ready?
And we'll talk about that more as it happens. Each team has the opportunity to do that once in a game, and it has to be an end where they have last draw.
So I don't think
Yeah,
I've
Ram.
seen a mixed doubles
Lots of it.
competition where they have
Room.
utilized the other extreme markers. Usually rocks are positioned halfway between the top of the house. There you can see the markers there as we're coming in.
I got 14.9 on that. I don't know what you were getting earlier.
And that's the position they've decided to put it in for now, but if they find that as the event goes on, it straightens out a little bit, they may adjust that. If they do it, it'll be across all the sheets, and that will be up to the officials.
All right. Go hop on the act ball.
That's the lightest one you threw.
So again, we're getting this end set up very similarly to previous, where
good.
our leads have had excellent draw weight, getting these rocks into that back button.
Yeah, nobody's been short on the freeze. They either make the freeze or the little bump.
That's right. You certainly can't afford to be 6 and 8 feet short on these shots, or that's where the really big ends start building up on you.
Nice draw made there. Again, from that camera angle, tough to
to an
say. I'm
Yeah, just to a
All
dot.
of mine have been.
Actually, here, no, I didn't.
not sure who's shot at this
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah, that one just looked less.
'Cause
I was just worried if
Any way you look at it, doesn't look like this is going to be a real big end. We've got a couple of frozen stones early
okay,
that'll
I
be
got it.
tough. One red, one
I got
yellow,
it.
going to
Oh,
be
I got
tough
it,
for the
sir. Me too.
opposition to
Here,
remove.
trade. You're sweeping right now.
There they are, switching brooms out. One will be a little scratchier than the other. One
Close.
going for line versus one going for distance.
Whoa, line's perfect. Whoa. Whoa.
I think one thing too that a lot of curlers have learned, that if you're, I'm anxious to see Reed Carruthers, curlers that throw with a crutch or the sweeping stabilizer or the throwing stabilizer have a completely different challenge of throwing with their stabilizer, popping that off to the side and picking up a broom. So it's that the choreography and the change of habits here is a lot to
right
learn.
to it.
Wait, no line.
I want to be off.
Ramp got a curl.
A little heavy.
Really got a curl. Get it in there if you
You gotta
can.
let it dig, I think.
Yeah.
Just try not to spill off it. Ah,
Just that inch or two can make all the difference.
that's
Spills off just a little bit. Of course, we can see now with the 2 little taps, the red's definitely shot, and it's still
Well,
solidly
wait.
frozen on the yellow
You can play it
behind it.
with just about anything you like. Just a little inside to the nose.
But right about now, a very minimal scoring area for thinking of 2 if you're red.
Well, and the Murphys seem to
Close.
be
This is very
content to
controlled.
Close. Yeah.
hold them to the single because he's just asked Janet to play
Yeah.
the removal on the
Clean.
stone that was just
Clean.
played and try to roll to the
Clean.
inside so it would leave another yellow lined up to the red.
Whoa. Whoa.
But without unlocking that freeze, they're not going to have a chance to get the red out either.
Oh, and a really nice shot there by
Gotta get the inside.
Janet. Just throwing that easy
I
hack
wanna leave
weight.
the button for your
Taps
last
it through
one
and just
too.
out of play, and now
Like
you
we're
can see
in a lot
everything
of
is in a
trouble.
line.
Yeah, if the line's good, we could go here.
I think it's good to tuck a piece on.
Yes, yeah. If the line's good, just top 12-ish.
So we see a lot more, at least certainly in this game, a lot less dependence on the big 7-second hit weight to come down and clean things up. This has been a lot of back 12, back 8,
Just a touch left.
crucial positioning taps on our shot rocks.
Saw a couple of big weight ones for Jeff earlier, but of course the way things are lined up right now, there's no real big weight
That's
clear
less
everything
weight.
out available.
Top 12.
Still looking to play
Top
setup
12.
shots basically. And
Tight.
Room.
Tight.
Room still.
still playing setup shots
Other
while you're
side,
running
try
out of
to finish
stones in a
it.
hurry.
Tuck a piece, Jeff. Tuck
Well,
a
and then
piece.
again, too, depending
Hard.
on
Go, go,
who's
go,
throwing
go,
your
go,
last
go, go.
rock
You got it, you
at
got it.
number
Keep
5,
going,
you
keep
have
going,
to
keep
play
going.
to their
Tuck a piece.
capabilities,
Go,
and
go,
if
go,
they've
go,
got
go,
that
go, go,
steamer
go.
hit weight in their back
Okay.
pocket, you can play the end one way. But if you don't have that
Out
rocket
turn.
weight, then you have to manage your 5th shot a lot differently if an 8-second hit is your maximum.
So basically just covering up that side to take away
Haven't
any
thrown an
chance the
out-turn
Murphys
yet.
might have.
Throw it there.
Okay. And top 8-ish, right?
Top 8's
top
fine.
four?
Top 8, top 4.
Okay.
Top 8 I'd like.
Okay.
And again, you know, where the speed of this game
late
comes
to me.
along is lots
I
of
gave it a
times
big
we're privy
press.
to these conversations, you know,
Line's
with all the
good.
microphones, but then there's no
Yep.
10 seconds while the thrower goes
Line's
down to the
good.
hack to set up. It's just, okay, let's
Yeah,
decide,
wait.
and then you throw. So keeps the pace of the game moving very quickly.
Okay. Line's really good.
It's okay. Thanks.
So
You heard
looking
Janet
to
say
take
this was
away
the
any
first time
out-turn
she'd thrown this
possibilities.
out-turn. Comes up a little bit short. Might not be bad though. Had they brought that to the button area, they might have left some chance for
I mean,
Laura and
ideal's
Jeff to make
here,
some
but
kind
if
of a
you're
play on
here,
the
it could be
yellows.
dead.
Jeff just
Play
pointing out
here.
the difference of what
If they ever run
4
it
or
back,
5
we should
inches
get a
either
couple.
way
And
can
if it's there and it's
can
heavy, we're
make
just
for
gonna go.
making
If
this
the line's
shot.
good, we'll take it all the way in. Aim for there.
Side, like here.
So looking for the setup shot, but recognizing
that
too,
right
if he
there.
doesn't curl up quite enough, he could set up a double opportunity here for the Murphy team.
I don't think he's looking for the setup. I think he's looking to get this right to the button and try to set up his 2 right here.
That's right. That's what if it's looking good, it's a go. If not, then leave it for the tap on the next possibly. Again, you can tell the experienced curlers, you know, they pick out their first shot, but then they pick out the secondary one also.
Line's good. Stay close.
Good.
Nice to see
Yab
the
it, yab
broom
it.
here is on the edge of the 8
Yab
foot, so they
it,
are expecting
yab
4
it.
feet of curl, which is, you know,
Yab
really
it.
excellent
Top
for
eight.
Hard, Jeff.
club ice. Newtown has always had terrific ice though.
Hard. You're
Whoa,
on it,
it's a
you're on it,
rough.
Late
you're on
finish
it.
here.
And both teams getting caught a little bit. Just the way the game's been evolving, they haven't
alright,
played
it's
this
tight.
side
It's
of the
not
sheet
bad.
very much.
Probably
A little bit in the second end where we did see that out turn
Yeah.
curl
Yeah,
more
ever-
than that in turn.
Hit it high, you could give us 3.
Like try and get it here.
Yeah, try. We can.
I guess the only way we hurt ourselves is
Well, if I clip it here, it runs off.
Yeah,
If I clip
just-
it here, this
Yeah.
this jams, but this runs off. If I clip
I
that.
just don't know if this goes anywhere.
What's that?
Like it's more frozen to this one, right?
Just got. We want to squeak it sideways.
This one? Or
No,
this
no,
one?
no.
This one?
His. Trying to squeak his sideways. Or we just play the force. I mean, there's only a point for him. You're right. That's reasonable. Yep. Just cap it off.
Sometimes the simple shot can be the most effective.
Well, I didn't mind Hugh's first thought on that. You run that in, like I don't see any way you can just stuff that red in and jam it and leave it in the 4 foot. So it's going to roll out. And if you hit it right, you could actually pick that red out of the
Here.
middle there and be sitting a pile. And with no real easy way for Laura Crocker to get in with her last stone.
What's that?
For that matter, you could hit that one.
There's something about hit that
I
one.
said you could hit it.
Oh, yeah.
And they still have the force.
But I think they have settled on just the guard.
Heavy. 77. Just help me with the line. Top 12.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Let it die.
Okay. Good.
Getting really nice curl on that
Yeah,
out
well,
turn
Hugh
side.
has a pretty good idea on that side. Again, Jan thought it was heavy, perhaps into the top
7-8
12, but
slow.
that side just a little bit heavier. Laura and Jeff are going to take
Yeah,
a look.
You probably got to throw like back line.
He's got the double
Almost a
tap.
hack,
She's got
yeah.
the double tap available, I guess.
Yep, back line to hack. Yeah, I'm going to swoop that one just for line.
We've talked a little bit already about how much more difficult these shots are without two sweepers. I don't care how many sweepers you've got. This is not an easy shot.
Hack weight
She's
with
got to
like just
play
inside edge 8.
yellow. She's got to come across
do you
the
think,
face of the
Bryce?
yellow, tap it onto about
I think you need inside edge, probably maybe even less than that.
2/3 probably of the red,
Yeah, I
and
think you
try
ice
to
it tight.
tap it
That's your miss.
right to the button.
Then we have a chance to hold it. Hack, just hack. Okay, I'd say you're all a hack. Weight's good.
Staying out there nicely.
Has to get across the face of this yellow first of all. Now starting to curl.
Oh, what?
Boy, that's
oh,
real
my
close.
goodness.
Oh, good try.
Boy, needed to curl just a hair more. She would have had that. As it is, taps it a little too straight,
Curls
a
a
little too
hair,
far.
even a touch less weight, because you
And,
had the
it'll be
I
line.
think
just
he
a
heard
score
you.
of
That's
one.
exactly what he
You
was
had the
saying
line,
too.
it just
But
went right to the back
again,
of
you
the
know,
butt,
maybe
but
that
it
that
is too
side
far.
is just a little heavier because Jeff had said at Laura's release that's all of hack, and it
Hair less weight.
was just
Half an inch more
barely
curl.
halfway to the hack. I think
try.
by the time that was all said and done.
I guess I needed to leave my guard longer. Holy cow.
And they do take a break for the fourth end, so we'll take a break as well, and we'll be back for the fifth after this.
Yeah, we got our 4 minutes now,
Before
right?
there was ice, there was our hallway at home. I was always the shy, quiet kid who loved math. But when I saw math come alive in the geometry of the game, I found my passion and my voice. It's a game of precision, a game of inches. It's the equation that now defines who I am.
Look at you, sitting there eating crisps.
They're chips.
They're crisps, and that's a curling tourney, and you're missing it.
I'm watching it.
You should be there with your kin, feeling the cold of the ice, hearing the roar of the game, and drinking the cold, cold barley nectar.
You mean beer?
Barley nectar. Now get off your duff and live it live.
Curling Canada is home to the most celebrated series of curling championships the world has to offer. You've got to live it live.
2 months premature and a heart condition. One might say I was born to overcome challenges. I searched for my place in this world, and I found it here. This pebbled ice is where I battle now. I have my sights set on the Olympics, and I will push hard to get there.
Welcome back, everyone. We'll just real quickly update all the scores here in this opening draw. The team of Ashley Quick and Mike Armstrong playing on sheet 1 against Sean and Katie Cotterill, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. We'll try to get to all of the last names pronounced. Just finishing up the fourth end there, and Cotterills have a 3-1 lead as they play. On sheet 2, Bob and Jody Smallwood, the Territories, are playing Chelsea Carey and Colin Hudson. They're in the break there, and the team of Carey and Hudson have a 6-2 lead. Also in the break on sheet 3,
Last hard and then whoa.
Megan St. Amand and Chris Labata, another name I'm going to have to double check the pronunciation on, playing Rachel Holman and Mark Nichols, and the team of Holman and Nichols has 4-2 lead when they resume play there.
Yeah, if they could find that color.
Going over to sheet 5, Jim Cotter playing with his daughter, Jalen Cotter. They were the BC champions, and playing against the Prince Edward Island team of Kyle Holland and Sabrina Smith there. On sheet 6, Jesse Kaufman and Brock Virtue with the lead against Steve Laycock and Stephanie Lawton, the Saskatchewan team there. On sheet 7, Laura Brown, Nick Kaiser playing against Lisa Weigel and John Epping, and Weigel and Epping off to a commanding early 7-0 lead. And the final game here in draw number 1 on sheet 8, Jocelyn Peterman and Brent Galland out to an early 6-1 lead over Mark Dacey, a Saskatoon native now living in Nova Scotia. His partner Jennifer Baxter there, and just finishing up the 4th end there. And one of the things we've seen with this format in the past, and I expect we'll see it again here this weekend, is that some of those games with big leads early, it's real hard to defend a lead in this format. Teams can come storming back on you in a hurry.
Right to it! Right to it!
Well, as you had said, you're never out of any game. So that last one that we just showed, the score of Jocelyn Peterman, Brent Gallant, the combo of Jennifer Baxter and Mark Dacey just did hang up a 2-ender there. So they're only down 6-3, and that's what you have to tell yourself. It's only 3.
So we see another nice draw made on the opening stones. Has a little bit of a tap, but has left everything dead in line.
Said we've seen some excellent first rock throws here from both teams, and it's made for some precision shot making required throughout the rest of the end.
Yeah, everybody seems to be locked in for that opening draw. It's when you have to start wiggling rocks around and you need to adjust that weight by just a few feet at a time. That's where you lose some of the precision with only having one sweeper. No lack of precision there. It gets right to the face again, taps it back just a little bit. The yellow sits shot rock, and still everything in a line behind the guard.
Weight's good. Weight's good.
But what I do like about this format is it really brings a lot back to the touch of the actual thrower. So when you don't have that dependence on the sweep, you have to really hone in on your own shots, which brings back a different skill level. It shows who's majorly dependent on sweep and who's just got that spider sense to make shots without sweep.
I'm just trying to throw it 7.
Gets the little tap there, leaves himself some angle. I think it was probably the first shot of this end where they weren't looking to get right to the face. They need to have a chance to get that yellow out later. He's got it mostly behind the tee line now and does have a good angle on his stone to move on to that. So Janet Murphy's going to try to take that away here.
91, let's close.
Yeah. Do you want to cross it?
Yeah.
Okay, close. Whoa.
Or
get to the nose.
Just the inside of that stone.
So this one took a big jump that they weren't expecting. And same thing too, this side of the ice has been a lot swingier. Janet's bumped off of here before. She crashed a guard here in the first end. So this side's certainly showing more swing, and I'm not sure about the weight if they think it's a little bit heavier too, but it's running differently than the other side. So though not the end of the world though for the Murphy team to knock off that center guard. That might help them a little bit later on to set up a 2-ender.
Broom length.
Jeff Walker's going to look to replace that center guard for now.
Right on the logo. Right on the logo. It's all right, show him half.
Right.
Brings it in just a little tighter, but he's taken away the inside corner at least.
And I said that was the corner that needed to be protected for the
theirs.
short term here.
In the ring.
Try and get up to the nose. Yeah, try and nose it with hacky boardy stuff.
Okay.
Hacky boardy. That must be that's a Mississauga term, I think.
That must be an Ontario term for sure.
Haven't heard that one before.
56.
Close.
Okay.
Yep.
getting really tight to that guard.
And no, just ticking.
Rubs it.
And that's even with solid board. Janet wasn't shy on that weight, so it's one of those. I think it's curling more than what they're expecting because that was good weight. It certainly wasn't underthrown, or they just need to open up their broom a little bit.
Well, it could have been one of those ones where you play it on the safe side a little bit too. She couldn't hit that on the outside. If she hits it on the outside, she stuffs it onto the shot rock.
Absolutely, that was a good secondary result for that shot, forcing the Crocker-Walker combo here to replace that guard.
And he definitely doesn't have the same weight on this guard, and so had to switch sides to try to get maximum curl out of this stone. Does get full coverage on his red stone. We haven't seen them have to throw a lot of guards so far in this game before this end, and that's one of the things with ice that curls this hard, especially with the late break. You throw a little less weight than what you had in mind, and you find that rock doesn't have enough time to curl, and you might end up leaving a stone open. So just got enough curl out of that one.
Again, interesting how John will call the shot in the house, indicate to Janet where he wants it, and then with Hugh, and he keeps his gripper on, so he doesn't rush to come all the way down to watch Janet's release. He just sort of gets about halfway and then picks up the shot.
Dangerous for him. Maybe just guard the hole, I think.
That one hung out a little bit, hit that right outside, but where his shooter rolled, he does protect his own shot rock. So the discussion from Jeff and Laura, I guess, just throwing the draw in the port to try to take away the draw path. It might be the only way to get in for a second point right now.
You can throw the intern guard if you want to.
I think I like that.
Now there may be an in-off available on the... it'd be the left-hand side as they're looking at it now. It'll be the right hand as the house comes into view.
So again, Jeff on his slider here, able to transport himself up and down the ice a little bit faster, but it all works is that each team can figure out their own routine to their maximum comfort and capability here.
Finish it a little hard, Jeff. Hard, gotta go. Hard, keep going, go.
Well, I think that's good. They were just looking to take away the draw path there. So, and the Murphys already making their way down to the other end. So I'm not sure whether they're just... There is an in-off on that right hand red as we look at it. There is some risk with that. You could take your own out. You don't have to throw with real big weight.
You can throw the intern.
Okay.
I think that's what they have to be playing. I don't see anything else unless they're just throwing it away, but... Looks to be lining up for it.
Yep. Hard.
Sort of our first big
hard. Hold it back.
Inside-out shot that
back
we've
it up.
seen.
Hard. No. Okay.
Big curl, even with the big weight, gets to the nose and will just pick up their single point. We're once again tied after 5 ends.
You'd think with a 3-3 score that we wouldn't have had any rocks in play, but we've hardly had anything behind the backboards.
Yeah, they don't seem to want to use the back corner at all.
Mark, we're going to set up the power play.
Power play.
Power play.
And here we go. We're going to see the first power play.
Thank you.
Of course, you only get one each, and we're getting down to those last few ends where if you don't use it, you might not get a chance. You have to have last rock to use it.
Oh, good times.
So what happens on the power play? The guard is moved over to the edge of the 8-foot. The stone in the house is placed
at
the intersection of the 12-foot and the 8-foot and just in front of the tee line.
Yes, so already, it looks like your two-ender is set up.
Okay.
So a choice here for
yeah, exactly.
the Murphy team.
Standard play.
put up a center guard, get that play back into the middle. It seems like
really
from
been
what we've
anything
watched
out here.
before, if you start chasing around this corner, and we haven't had a broom put on the center line going out to the corners, the teams can get into trouble very quickly. It seems like a preferred strategy is to put that center guard back.
Well, knowing that they can't hit it,
A red stone on the left-hand side. You ready?
it does give you your chance to get the play back to the middle. Of course, you can't hit the stone on the corner either, so kind of a catch-22 here, and it can put some pressure back on the team of Last Rock.
Looks like they're playing a tick shot here.
Yep.
Again, another
Or
strategy.
they're playing the raise on the yellow. Now, he cannot remove his own stone, so if that goes through the back, and Jeff Walker right there ready to sweep it through, it does go through. So the guard will be replaced. The thrown stone comes out of play.
Close.
Yeah, it's a little too hard.
Just
a little too hard.
yeah, I
Caught a little too much stone.
And that's one of the things, like,
It's a little, yeah, good try.
the strategy's still evolving. This particular rule, brand new this year. A lot of teams haven't played it. There are going to be a few different approaches to how they want to play this power play situation. They had talked about the center guard.
I threw over here.
But what was interesting was
it's gonna
they
move. I
hit
think
that
it's
rock
low.
about where they needed to, and
Just on
yet
that side of the
he
field.
said he
Just-
threw it too hard, so we still saw
Center
some
line, I think, will be
curl
close. I'll be able to-
on that outside part that if he'd thrown the weight he'd wanted, probably would have just got to the
Throw
nose.
center line, same speed.
There's a quick discussion here between Laura and Jeff about whether to go to the open side or try to come around again. Looks like they're going to
Might be a little
try to
fresher in the
bring
middle.
another one around the guard.
Good one.
And again, this I think is influenced
Right to
by the rules about what you can hit and when. You still can't play any kind of a run back or a hit on the next yellow stone.
Real good.
Very nicely played by Laura.
Yeah, that was a nice draw, and again,
Try.
you keep in mind, we talked about it briefly, you don't
know,
see a
I
lot
didn't-
of play to the
wanna
corner, so
bury
it's
it too much at the
first
end.
draw
That's
here.
perfect.
They likely haven't thrown a lot of draws to the corner. It's a bit of a guess. That was a pretty good guess. Well, I would have thought the Murphys were more or less forced now to play chase, but that looked like a lot of ice to be chasing. I think she's playing the center guard now.
Get him even. Good. Whoa there, here, whoa.
Good, all.
So a different reversal from some of
Yeah.
the more standard.
Straight peel.
Well, it's interesting now because now they can hit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they thought that through.
Is it going right into ours?
If you on this side, yes.
I'm peeling with the in turn.
Oh, yeah, then I think you're going right into that guard.
Hit and roll into it. I just don't think we need to draw. We got two buried. Like if we could just peel it.
You can hit now, yeah.
Yeah, they threw one through.
Oh, to another corner?
Oh.
To it? North?
No, just throw peel in case
You
I hit
want
it
me
thick.
to sweep?
Sure. This is a 7 rock, so don't because it might be a little straighter.
Hey, you just call it.
Hit and roll.
So looking to remove the guard, and of course, because the two guards are fairly close to even, he does have to be conscious of doubling the guards.
Well, it's probably going right into ours. Whoa. Watch it if it spins in the rings. Yep.
Makes the hit on the yellow. Shooter will come across and sits on the corner, so now he's got a double corner guard on the two-shot stones.
It's good.
Opens up a little room though to get shot rock in as a savior,
Yeah.
but that would be a
You'd be
very
able to get
precise
it out.
shot.
Okay.
This is almost a bailout situation. The double peel here would be pretty easy. I don't think that's what they're playing.
Looks like the draw be behind the corner guard that Jeff
Line's good.
just hit and rolled over to
Line's
create.
good. Close for line. Line's good. Whoa, needs
Gianna
to
can get this rock
curl.
to the top corner.
Line's
of the safe
good.
Got to make this real well. Is it one thing that's pretty similar about the 2-player game and the 4-player game? You start playing chase around corner guards without last rock, and you can give up a pile in a hurry.
This just needs to stay up just a little bit. Nice shot by
Yeah, I think it's
Janet.
just about wide open, though.
Just about wide open, but you know, you couldn't have played that much tighter.
Okay, try to bump
No,
it
you
out.
couldn't have, but I'm not
Good
sure it was the
throw.
right call. You're in a lot of trouble here without last rock. Now, if Jeff Walker can make the hit and roll to the 4-foot, you're pretty much going to have to concede 3.
A little heavy.
Well, Janet stayed up high enough that if Jeff does only roll a little bit, he has
It's not rolling to the
overthrown
4-foot. He didn't throw a lot of weight here.
all over the red corners.
I don't know if he had the weight to get it out.
If he gets the little bite, no, probably just an underthrow.
Switch to brooms.
And yellow is still buried behind a red.
That's fine. They still got to be really
It's
careful.
actually buried a little more now. I think that red off the contact with the yellow spun back just a bit.
Big roller.
Yep. You want to roll over to ours?
Where do you want me to throw? Do you think like
controlled hits?
Yeah. Do you think right?
Sorry,
half?
Laura, I can't help you with that one either. I don't know if
Yeah,
it's hit
nobody
the
was
board.
watching the stone.
Watching everybody sweep the biter into the rings.
Okay.
Because they did get that in to bite the rings, the Murphys are going to make a play on it. Try to roll the shooter across, maybe
Close.
protect their own stone a little bit with it.
Yep. Whoa, whoa.
This is the side of the ice that does curl a little bit more.
Whoa, whoa, clean. Whoa, roll,
Janet
roll.
just nice control weight.
Makes the hit, rolls across.
Sorry, not enough
So
weight.
it's for 4th, and I don't know that it plugged up their own shot. Might be easier to hit, though.
Left turn.
Yeah, I don't think there's a hole there to get in direct.
Edge. We try to hit.
And the double's a
the
little
nose.
risky, so looking for the nose
Just a
hit
little
here,
less.
and then they would be able to use that to run onto that yellow stone with the next one.
So again, just the difference is Laura putting the broom down instinctively as if that was her teammate. Jeff's pushing the broom over just a little bit, needs less ice. Just difference in a little bit of that weight.
I wasn't. You couldn't make that.
Oh yeah. I just thought you were playing a double. Off our one and spill everything.
I said hit on the nose, but you said
Yeah, mine. Okay. Good.
And again, that's one of the issues that you run into. People that don't play together that often, they don't get a lot of chance to practice these. Of course, with Laura in Alberta and Jeff in Newfoundland, they probably only meet up for a couple of these events in the season. Jeff's thinking double there, which
somehow.
it would have been a tough double.
Get around that
The
red.
angle wasn't ideal for it. He's hitting that thin enough that you could have jammed some things around.
Again, it's the different perspectives of how to play the game. The guy's game for sure, Jeff's thinking double all day long.
And Laura was playing that as a setup shot. And,
That's right.
And
So
I don't mind that call. The pressure's still on the Murphys here. They've got to get a good stone in, or they're looking at possibly a real big end here, and you can't leave a double.
One more. Oh, jeez. Wait.
It would be real tempting if it was me to draw to the 8-foot on the other side, but he's coming into the middle again.
Help me out. What do you want?
Yep, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
It's deep.
Okay. Okay. No. Fine. Whoa. Whoa.
this needs to stop in a hurry here.
Slides deep, but I think it hung on for second shot. I'm going to take a look around the outside. It does matter because they certainly have a chance to make the run back on the angle.
It's almost perfectly half. Those are real close. I think. What do you like? Draw or this?
For the Murphys, the nice thing about where that stone is, there's not any kind of a double available, even off the raise. and we've been having intermittent problems with Laura's mic. Jeff asked her which one she liked, and we didn't hear
You
the
can
answer.
put one
So
eye into it if you want.
Well, because that's the other,
What do you like?
the shot for two is to play that
Miserable,
red
I
in the
think it
top
could be
12
either.
and hope that your shooter rolls over and catches half that 8-foot
What do you want?
after you've had the race takeout.
Whatever you
the
want to
danger
throw. Like,
to
I'm
this stone,
alright
I
with
don't
the
think
half a
they're
rock
sure
into
who's
it.
got
You just saw the line.
second shot.
That
So
means I want that broom, though.
if you really miss the line on this, you could
It's
be
up to you. Whatever you
giving
wanna throw.
up 2.
Yeah, throw it.
And I don't think she's decided yet which one she wants to throw.
No, let's score. We got to score this in. This is stupid. Play the draw. You threw it.
We've certainly seen some wonderful draws out of Laura here, and she needs one now. And this is a little different when you're facing 2 on last rock.
Thought it was there, but it's close.
So nothing, just a heavy clean here from Jeff. Nothing's looking too worrisome so far.
Now he's picking it up a little bit heavier. This is dying on them. Got to get almost to the 4-foot, and will pull that stone into the top 4. Picks
Very
up her
nicely.
single point.
Very nicely done by Laura.
So it will be the Murphys with last rock, and
You want to?
That's it.
I'm listening in. Here's the thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
You almost have to use your power play here, because if you blank the end,
That
you
makes
lose
sense.
last rock.
Why you had so much ice. So I bet you probably thought I was throwing it softer.
So they're just
That's
looking
why I
for an
wanna less
official to
this.
call it.
Power play, guys. Power play. We're going to power play. We're going to power play. Okay.
So determining how to set up the next stand. But again, you could see that previous skip experience from Laura. I mean, she's been a very successful junior university level curler as a skip, and just very calmly went down, put that rock in the top 4-foot. Just nice hard clean by Jeff, and those are the solid shots. Nothing glamorous about that shot, but it's what keeps you in the game. As Jeff said, we have to score.
Yeah, there are some big scores out here on the opening draw, but this one has been very tight, very close all the way through, and I don't think you want to let a team get away on you.
Probably just back line. I don't think it'd be much slower out here.
Well, we've seen some outstanding shots
Go by
by
feel,
the
but I think it's
leads
gonna
by
be
the opening shot
not
that's really sort of set the
lightning
tone
like it
in
is,
every one of
but
our
not
ends.
far off either.
Rocks have been on that button, frozen
go line
very
on.
early in each
They can
end
hold it.
and working to tap around and get position. But as a result, lots of rocks in play and pretty much singles on the scoreboard.
Well, I heard back line, so I think the call here is going to be to try to move that guard
Good
as
way,
well.
it's a little heavy. Probably got to hit thin. Hit it thin.
So looking to push that guard into the rings.
Janet looking to see if she can sweep it out here, but Laura, with that outstanding weight control that she's had in this game, comes through yet again with
What's your call?
excellent tap.
Down to it.
Raise.
It is shot rock, but behind the tee lines, so you will look to make the freeze here. And one more interesting little thing, we haven't seen a lot of draws to the corner, but I'm sure that everybody practiced them a little bit here. He's now trying to freeze to a stone
84.
that's about 2 feet off the center line. Another shot that they would not have had much time to practice yet, so guessing a little bit at the line here.
Need a hand?
No.
Hand coming in.
Well, you're going to kill the weight. Go.
Go further.
Good shot. Good brush.
Be a little bit light, but it's not a bad spot for that stone. It is shot rock. There's angle for the double, but if you try the double, you're probably jamming the one
Freeze it.
stone.
You want to freeze it?
Can't hit yet anyway.
That's right, and you can see where Laura's first
No, you got to
instinct
see 5.
was to hit, but we haven't had that fourth thrown rock yet.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't have been able to play the double here, so it's a setup
No, but
shot of some
just the
sort.
nose
Yep,
hit
yep.
was, she went up, called the nose hit, and go, oh, yeah, we can't do that.
I think we're there. Not bad. Bumping it a couple feet.
He hasn't got over to the line here. It needs a late curl. Starting to make a move now.
Wants to sit just on the corner of that. He's going to have to bump it a little bit.
A little heavy, just had that back 12-foot weight.
No. It's the
He
person
is
that
sitting
does
second and third. Now this is the first stone where you actually could throw a hit, and there does look like there is a double on the Reds, although it's a little bit
Hit
flat.
roll.
Out turn?
Yep.
The double's nice, but you
Might
know,
not
even
be
if
in Janet's repertoire.
double's nice, but even if you hit and
Oh,
roll
yeah,
and
sorry.
sit on top of that back 8-foot one like their first call was, that's still a good result.
Control.
It's a little more control than I would have liked.
Okay.
Half a stone.
Curl! Curl! Curl!
Oh, nothing.
Just gets to the nose, but is sitting 2.
I could make that. I think so. Yeah.
Jeff looking at the, it's a flat double, but so close together. It's
we roll right
fairly
beside
easy.
it. I'm not going to try too hard for it, right? Like, we roll right beside it. It was fine, but let's try to make it. It's pretty thick. You'll wait.
So I said, this isn't Jeff's normal everyday shot. I'm sure
No.
he's excited to throw.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doubles.
Whoa. Yep, yep. Hard. Hard. Get out.
Just a shade
Shoot.
too thick. Doesn't have enough weight to move the second one out. But again,
Yeah,
sits second and third. There's a double
you gotta
available
run
on
the
the
guard for
Reds, but again, there's a lot of space between those stones. And
Good whack.
well, does give it a whack mean that she's going to try to throw it hard enough to make this one?
It's kind of fun.
Again, the nose hit wouldn't be bad
On the
here.
same rock.
Jeff's
Yeah, same
teammate
rock.
Mark
Try and
Nichols
roll
is
or
playing
stay
on
there?
the sheet next
Oh,
to him. In the end
I like the
before,
roll.
Mark had
What?
a
I like the
runner
roll.
down there, one of
Okay.
his
like the
classic
roll.
A little
massive
bit more weight
weight
then.
shots. And watching Jeff throw basically that same shot, but he threw a lot of firm weight, but not too many people throw
Yeah.
it harder than his teammate Mark
Yep.
Nichols
Clean.
can. And it was just
Clean.
the difference in that
Clean.
shot.
Whoa, whoa. Curl!
Hey.
It's the nose hit. It is just
That doubles jam
third
is the
shot
only
for
thing. You
now,
never
but
wanna go four.
the problem for Walker and Crocker is if they make a play on shot, they're going to leave a double to sit 3.
If it's in, we play the double, but I'm gonna throw like normal so I can't roll under or over. You know what I mean? And if I throw normal, I'd still get it out if I go into it, but then I won't roll out. Normal weight. Just careful, this is a little farther out, so you might catch a little curl with
I'll
normal.
stay close, you call it.
And what Jeff's talking about there is if he hits this thick enough to go over the top with normal, it
Easy.
will be too thick to roll all the way out.
Close. Yep, clean, clean, easy, easy.
Whereas
Yep.
with Peel, you could actually go across the top of that yellow roll right up
yep,
high.
yep. Hard, hard.
Of course, you bring the weight down just a little bit more. You do get that extra curl. Gets just the nose hit.
What? That's way than the first one. Holy. This is a bomb.
Now the double's
Certainly
starting
left
to
it
get
in really
thin.
good position,
Yeah.
though, because where he needs to make the skinny red double, that red rock's going into that side 8 or the side yellow stone.
Probably does, yeah. And if you don't roll far enough
No,
making the double
Yeah,
attempt, you
can throw
could
the
leave
double at this
a double
point, actually.
back.
Because the deuce is set up for us. If you get the double, we got our 3.
So, same out turn?
Yeah, I like the out turn.
But we don't
Half a
want to hit
stone.
it. Half a stone.
Hugh was down there, took a look at it. He thinks the double attempt will go underneath that yellow stone. It'll be close.
No. Curl! No, I'm I'm rolling out.
Oh, no. Not that shot.
Yeah, doubling your own out
Doesn't matter
wasn't
if you
the good
blow out
option
here
there.
either, right?
Now, pretty simple decision.
Because, right, we look those in the rules, we still hammer.
Again, that might
think it
be
matters.
one of those when you go
gonna
back through the
take one,
game
right?
review. Was that the
They're not gonna
shot to call for that
blank it in.
situation?
Don't go too much off the rock, though. I can hold it. So.
I think it was the right
Yeah, you're
shot.
gonna normal or firm normal? Yeah. Normal, firm normal.
Interesting
edge
that on
rock,
both
I
of those
think.
attempts, they tried to come
You can
across
hold
the
it. If you
face
can
of the
roll in
stone
front,
to
it's
make the
perfect.
roll.
Don't get too cute for it.
And you heard Jeff talking a little bit to Laura as they were coming back. Again, in a blank end, they will get the choice, so would take the hammer. So even if she rolls out here, they're looking at a force. They just have to be careful not to come across the face.
Laura continuing her outstanding play here today.
Your hammer.
Rock solid on that throw.
It's up to you.
Just draw?
Yeah.
And for the Crocker Walker team, it's always good to the best you can do in this situation. You've created the force, but you've also created a couple different shots to create that force.
Right.
Just that little bit of indecision that you're looking for any edge to hopefully get a steal out of this. So they've left the Murphys with a draw to a piece of the forefoot that's required.
Well, and in this format, the player that throws first also throws the fifth stone. We have noted, though, that both first stone throwers
T-line.
Yeah,
have
that was
had
really nice that you
excellent
had in
draw
your first
weight
one.
so far
with
this
them.
game. So Hugh, no hesitation here, going to play the draw on the outturn side. His other option would have been the in-turn hit on the stone at the back 8 foot. And he would have had to flirt with the one that Laura just threw. So I don't think surprised that he's calling the draw.
Okay,
No.
it's pretty close.
Needs just about a bite of the 4 foot.
It's not
Janice
light.
said it was close early, but she's backed right away from it.
And
Not
signaling,
curling, that's
well,
usually a
it's
sign it's
okay.
heavy.
So
And it
that
will slide
back
through.
misses with this Murphy team. Sets up this big steal of 2 here, going into our last end.
They will keep last rock. Now going to have to generate some big points.
That happens. Okay, so.
And this is one way this last end sets up a little differently. You'd never see this setup if you were 3 up coming home, but in a regular curling game. But mixed doubles, you still got to deal with that guard.
Okay, put it away.
I'm going to set one up last.
I'm sure it's good.
All good?
I'm sure it is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
Here, I'll
Still always a bit of humor, you know, it's
Yeah, the
Nice
Murphys
to
were
see.
actually discussing their strategy, and Jeff set up both stones in. So with a 3-point lead, but throwing first, your first 2 stones, you can't hit anything. So really, depending on how the Murphys throw their 2 stones, they could
I
have
think
3
so.
rocks
I
in the
don't think
rings
it's
before Jeff and Laura are able to throw hits. Won't really change the call for the first one. They're going to have to play that same freeze, maybe a little tap as they've been playing the whole game.
Weight's perfect. Good shot.
And Laura brings that first stone into the corner of the button.
There's this much space.
see how different this end sets up a little bit, because that's the first time we haven't had a first draw go behind the tee to the rock. This one stops just in front of the tee.
89.
Yep.
Janet Murphy was down at the other end to try to get an idea where that stone was, but then makes her way back down to sweep. And
Got a
I
curl.
don't think it's critical for
curl.
them to move that one just yet, but they'd love to get to the inside of it to be able to free that red one up later.
Move our back one.
Good.
Oh, very
Ends up
nicely
bumping
done.
both stones. We'll have a way to get the red out from the
Really
outturn
nice.
side at least.
That's good.
That's great weight.
To unlock the back one.
Yeah. Good.
7 rock.
I've heard Jeff reference that 7 stone a couple of times now, so
Line.
they have the 1 stone that they must feel curls a little differently.
Back
Line
4.
good, yep.
Back 4.
Yep. Room.
Back 4.
Oh, no. No.
Just back 4. We're not heavy.
Curl it, curl. Get it in there, get it to nose. Hard. Sorry, my fault.
Sorry, free zone.
And again,
Okay.
trying to get to the inside, but
good,
just
yeah.
taps it back. And nice secondary tap is to tap the red frozen on that yellow at the back. It's going to be very difficult to bring that yellow back into play.
So again, they were concerned that was their straighter rock, but too, it was probably closer to back 8-foot weight, so not sure if that had a bit of an impact on not curling quite for what they were looking for.
404.
Line's good.
And the Murphys
if
opting to
you
come
can.
around from the other side
Line's
now.
good.
Try to get another
Line's
one in.
really
I thought
good.
they might try to change the angles.
Line.
The angles on the other side are really good for the Reds.
Again, we've seen this,
This one's
big
going
jump
sideways.
on this out-turn side. Janet probably just having top 12-foot weight. And just at the bench there, it took a big kick sideways.
And so we're going to see our first timeout called here.
I don't know if they got it. They're good now.
The clocks
thinking
are
Neil
off
first
to
thing,
the
this one,
side.
but I don't know if it's a shot
They've
'cause it
got
takes
two
away the
sets of
draw.
2 banks of 4 clocks. They are
I think
inside
we just play another come around here.
the glass at the home end.
Yeah, if we get another one in there, they're going to have a tough time, you know. Like, I know. That's why I don't think the peel's the right call. They don't have an out turn right now unless they come right down to this. That's the only way they could get an out turn in there, I think. I don't think we need to. Like, I think if we're here, it's pretty good. Oh, just getting another one in the house to have to deal with.
Okay.
Like, I was thinking freezing is perfect. If the line's good, might as well bump frozen. I
Yeah.
just don't know this one. Like, worst cases, I do this, and it gives them a hit and roll on the guard, right?
Okay. Do you want me to? I'll watch the line.
Watch the line.
And there is the
I'm
clock.
Up 12
So
weight,
lots of
sweep
time
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
for both.
And that was just the first time out, so. You may see the Murphys use one as well. They've got to start figuring out how they're going to move these rocks around.
Bit of room.
So as Jeff indicated,
Up
he's got
12.
a little bit of leeway on this shot.
Line's good.
Tight.
The line is
Tight guard.
everything, but he
Stay
can
hard
have this
then.
rock stop anywhere top 8. They
Line's good. Room.
Top-
all the way to the freeze
Good.
bump.
Top 8.
Room.
Top 8.
Room. Line's
Can we
perfect.
tap
right
it?
to it. Line's perfect. Go, Jeff. Hard. Line's really good.
Just to it.
Hard. Keep,
Don't
keep it
poke
come
out.
this
Don't
side
wanna
of it.
poke
It's
out.
Pretty good.
Don't want to poke out.
Good shot.
Slop
Well, he
line.
did come
Oh,
out
that
just that
curled
little
more than
bit,
he
but he
would've
might be
liked.
okay.
That's okay, though, I think.
So you're right. If you are
Janet Murphy's already in the hacks, and
Hugh and
Punch
Janet,
this. Sit here.
Okay.
got to start figuring out a way, remove some of these red barriers.
or at least move them to where you can set something up. All the good angles right now belong to the Reds.
It's okay,
4
Hugh. We
minutes
got
for 3
time.
stones.
Just pick one.
What's that?
Just decide what you're gonna do.
Come here.
Yeah, Hugh wants to call timeout. Janet's
Lots of time.
in a hurry to play it, but you got all kinds of time here, and it's not just what you play here. You got to start manipulating these rocks. You need 3 points here.
I can see the edge of that.
What's that?
I can see the edge of that.
We could push.
And it's
this,
kinda gonna go
but
in.
then we've got a stone up here and this one to deal with,
Yeah.
and not many stones left.
Yeah, but I think we got to deal with this first.
Do you? There's nothing to really deal with. I mean, that's locking everything off. We could draw here. I'm not sure we
I
can
see
get
what you're saying.
fully shot.
Well, do we draw there then?
Draw here?
Yeah.
I think I'm more in favor
he'll
of
just
their
get it.
initial instinct was to start
Draw
moving
there.
around
I'm
top
not sure
of
if we can-
some of
Can
those
try
rocks
this draw?
there on the
I can
8
throw about
foot.
18 rotations.
Well, I don't have to throw 18 rotations. Just got to get it by. In fact, if we rub here and roll to there, I'm okay.
Okay.
So yeah, let's make sure your rotations are positive. Come in kind of there.
Ideally, the rock that's just biting that 4 foot, I mean, I think they've got to get this to the back 8 foot anyways.
Well, what he's looking at is trying to play the out turn, draw through the port, and
they get the rub off, then
it's not there.
And it's fine, but
They're gonna, if they're by that yellow stone,
is it a draw?
with draw weight, they're gonna hit that red one fairly thick. They're not gonna
Like I'm trying to
spill
draw
off.
to the
They don't-
back one, right?
Yeah.
I think you'd have to throw bumper weight to make
Okay,
that.
got it.
You're trying to draw through this. Give me a little port.
Yep.
Okay.
well, and even if Janet makes this perfectly, then you still have to do that one more time.
88. Okay.
So Hugh just
Close.
encouraging a little bit firmer
Whoa.
rotation, which Janet has delivered here.
Yeah.
Well, that
Actually, that's
turned out pretty well.
not a bad result. The yellow-red angle still doubles out the reds.
Make the hit going. I think we guard this side.
So I think Jeff Walker and Laura Crocker are going to
Or
have
just
to look
another
at.
one right here.
How'd you like those rotations?
He's looking at a guard, but
Lots of
you
them.
could hit
Pretty
that
much the
red
same
and
shot you
eliminate
just
the
threw.
yellow.
Right there in the open,
I'll
I
give
think.
you a little more ice.
Yeah, and then if they do anything, at least I can run it.
So very nice
Yeah,
shot by
just edge,
Janet
it's
to navigate that port, remain corner frozen.
Well, and they're guarding a shot here that they're never going to play.
I think it's top 12. Weight's good. Tight, just short. Real light.
Yep.
Just a guard.
Okay. Well then, if you just a guard, just leave it. Mine's good, just leave it.
Right on the
Mine's
top of the logo. No, not quite.
good.
It's a good line though.
Well, he's got the guard.
He's,
Well, we'll see if the Murphys make a play on the yellow that Janet just left there, corner
Yeah,
frozen.
I think the yellow-red double goes across the face of the yellow in the 4 foot.
I think so too.
Hard there.
Then that one
No,
red at the back
I'd
of the 4 foot
rather
would be
use
looking
this
pretty.
angle over here. Run that, probably the one stone onto your high onto your 4, and get this action going here.
Okay.
Okay.
I can't do it with the yellow, right? You just like it better the other way? Well, it opens that up, I guess, too.
I'll open up right now.
Okay,
I don't
just show me.
mind too
Just
much.
give me a broom and.
Janet's still looking at a secondary shot.
Well, Janet wants to play directly onto the yellow. Hugh's thinking that you've got to run the red back to get the angle. Of course, our camera's actually at the back
Okay,
line, so
either
we
a
don't get true
timeout
view
or
of
a
the
broom.
angles. Sometimes you have to defer to the players here. They've got the better look at it. He must feel that it jams into that red if they play direct.
Run this.
Okay.
Well, and in the end, ends up playing the yellow into it, which is actually, I like the call because it'll open up that out turn path to get into the 4 foot too. They might have to make some kind of a play on that
Whoa.
red at the back of the 4
Whoa.
foot. Yet. And a little thin on that stone.
Probably the higher degree of difficulty there,
Yeah.
but more reward.
I think
But
anywhere.
they certainly had to hit more than one rock.
Anywhere from over, as long as it's guarding. Like.
I think you could throw this in the back corner, Jeff. I don't see how you score 3 with our last rock here.
That's right.
I don't see anything, so I think you just throw it up there.
I don't know with that last call by
Throw it
the
up there and the yellow that they
the Murphys. That yellow corner
Yeah, I
run
think
was
you
still
take
always
some
available
ice
on your
at
last
eight
one. I know they
outside.
thought it was blocking off a draw, but now, as you say, they've probably eliminated all possibilities.
It's just line, really. It's about just past half. Just a tight guard.
And then we'll see whether the Murphys even elect to throw. I don't think there's any kind of even a wing and a prayer type of a shot there.
Thank you.
Nope,
Good luck.
shaking hands.
And they'll shake hands.
They see
so
the inevitable.
We've got our first, or our final here in draw number 1. Jeff Walker and Laura Crocker pick up the win in their first game, and just one game actually left on the ice on sheet 1. That game coming home, and
sheet 5, Cotter team
pardon me,
and the
team 5, they're in
PEI
a
team.
timeout but still playing. Just getting our camera angle set up here. We're going to peek in at sheet 5. We've got a direct camera angle on that one.
So Jaylyn Cotter and her dad Jim are nursing a 1-point lead with Hammer over Sabrina Smith and Kyle Holland, the PEI representatives. It's a long ways to come for national championship.
And I'm just judging from where the 2 marked stones are, and I think the Cotters must have used their power play here because the 2 marked stones are off on the corner. And right now the Prince Edward Island team looking to steal doesn't have anything in the middle to work with.
Well, and again, that's the second situation that teams will set up that power play. The Cotters, with their 1-point lead, don't need the 2 points. But the thinking is, here they are trying to maintain the lead with Hammer. Let's get the play away from the middle. Let's get these rocks set up to the corner, allowing access if Jim needs it, or I think Jim's throwing last rock, to have the open shot for the 1 point in any save.
And, you know, if you're going to play the strategy game a little bit, it maybe would have changed, and I don't know whether the Prince Edward Island team talked about it or whether they perhaps should have talked about it, but they took a single point in the 7th end, and so didn't have last rock here, so the Cotter team gets to use their power play. As much as it goes against your grain to think of that way, they might have been better off to give up a steal of 1 and try to get 3 coming home, because it's real tough to steal when you don't get to play anything in the middle. Not sure what the call was here. Are they trying to come through the port and make a play on shot stone? I think that's the call, and maybe roll underneath the red at the top of the 12-foot. It's close. Oh, just gets a rub there.
Kiss there.
Well, she was there to sweep that one. They just missed the line call a little bit, but does have shot rock, but wide open.
Certainly don't expect Jim to make any mistakes here, but the PEI did leave a BC rock there in the back 12-foot, potentially as a catcher. Already seen Jim throw a couple of howitzers down here, so I'm sure that this rock will not be remaining too terribly long in the house. Mixed doubles never did have an age limit, unlike Scotties and the Briar where it just got removed for this past season. So Jay Lynn, I believe, is 16 years old, so this must be really exciting. And this rock's got some mustard on it.
And the mustard takes care of the yellow stone. You don't get to count that bank shot though, so they'll have to have to take that one out of play. And just the one guard left to work with now. He can get a full 8 foot behind cover here. Would force a draw at least. You really have to try to be dead buried here. Any piece left open, hit and roll out, still wins the game.
Again, this is where you don't necessarily need to be perfectly buried behind that red corner. If you just show Jim a quarter of a stone, give him 2 shots to think about, whether he'd play the in-turn pick at it or just draw the 4 foot. Sometimes I think PEI is opting to go around the corner here. Sometimes if you bear it too perfectly, it's clearly obvious what your shot is. It allows that last stone thrower to focus in on that a little bit better. So again, another team, at least in this end, opting to have the male thrower.
So looking for the come around here.
Looks like he's got
this is
a
really
nice
going
shot
sideways. Might come out in the open on the other side.
Stays for shot rock.
The Cotters were backboards, no doubt, discussing what they were going to play here, so she's already looking at the draw. Don't know whether she can see that stone or not. There certainly has to be a piece of it open, but if you were already prepared to draw, why not throw it? That stone definitely curled farther than it needed to. He could have been definitely middle of the 8 foot, still fully behind cover, so just needs a little better than full 8 foot here. There you can see from that camera angle, she's probably got a quarter of a stone from the hacks. Not enough that you'd be comfortable throwing that hit.
Well, the game too is the draws normally are the shots to win. So at 16 years old, here we go. First game national competition. Needs 8 foot for the win. Beautiful technique.
I don't know if it's any different with Dad holding the broom than it is with Dad watching from behind the glass, you know.
At least Dad gets to come out and sweep. And
if you don't make this one, is it a quiet car ride back to the hotel?
And it looks like there is no doubt with this. Beautiful throw right to the button.
We won't find out. She puts it right on the corner of the button, and the Cotters will pick up the win in their opening game. And now just that one game left on sheet 1, and they've gone into an extra end.
Ashley Quick and Mike Armstrong from Saskatchewan stealing 2 in the 8th end off the Cottrell team. As you alluded to earlier in the broadcast, no lead is ever safe out here at any point in a game.
Yeah, I think they had last rock in the 8th, so it was just a
score.
Oh,
sorry,
of
my
2.
fault.
Yep.
Yes. 2 points with Hammer.
There were a lot of rocks in the 4 foot area for a while. It looked like they might be able to pick up 3. Well, a bit of a miscue there, looking to play the freeze and light and over curled, and ends up just tapping the guard straight back. So it does have the double guard situation, but it will be a chance here for the Cottrells to get in first and get one in front of the tee line behind cover.
Certainly a game of 2 halves here, with the Cottrells getting off to some strong play early, but the Quicks, this is their 4th year together, very experienced as teammates, so they didn't let that concern them too terribly much and turned it on here in the second half of the game.
Yeah, they're a past Saskatchewan champion, and They have made the playoffs in this event in the past as well, the national event. Well, we get the over curl from Ashley playing the come around, and a bit of an under curl there. Of course, we haven't been watching this sheet, so hard to. She's got the broom and now moved it in just a little bit inside the top of the 8, or inside the edge of the 8 foot. I don't know whether he's playing the tap or if he's actually trying to come through the port. There is room to get by the yellow probably and come directly into the 4 foot for shot rock. He'll have to get tight by the guard to do that. He's got a nice line coming in. Looks like they're playing the little tap. Nope. Well, he rubs.
I think that turned out really well for him.
Yeah, shooter is dead buried. The yellow at the back 4 foot is still shot rock, but there is a double available on the yellows now. The Cottrells are going to try to get another stone in there.
Certainly one of the more colorful sheets of ice here at the Newtowna Curling Club.
This is the first stone of the end where they actually could throw a hit. Now, sometimes teams get blinders on here. You've got last rock here in this extra end. This might be a chance to move some of those center guards.
Because there are some opportunities with those red rocks to have some run-ins here, and or something to hide behind if this shot isn't made perfectly. This one's staying out a little bit. Looks like pretty nice weight.
Well, the weight was
quite get the line
nice.
that
the line
they wanted.
was not. There's room there. I think Mike could probably throw the same weight and get that same rub over to the edge of the button behind cover, and suddenly it'll be very tough for the Cottrells to score. The option exists. He could play this with bigger weight too and try to play a double and roll on the yellows. I'm not sure that that's what he's doing though. When they don't hold the broom, we don't really get much of a clue until they come out how hard they're going to throw this. He did throw a little bit more weight. He's playing it as a hit, but this is not a big weight hit. I don't think he's worried about the double. Wants the roll. The roll's the key here. And waiting for this to curl. Gets some movement at the end. Moves all 3 yellows, and now I think it's red sitting too. With the rollover, that red stone will be partly behind cover. And now the Cottrells looking at moving some guards. The double peel running in, if you hit it just right, you could get all 4 reds moving. I think they are playing the double peel. The question is, what will happen to the stones in the house? She's got to drive the first one across the face of the second one. It should come, if she can hit the right angle, it should come back in towards those 2 stones in the 4 foot. They're looking to hit just a little less than half on the first one. She's close. Oh, just drives it across the top of the second stone. Only removes the 1 guard.
That was so close. That just only had to come up about another inch. The Cottrell team here from Ontario, so they have come a long ways away. I would have to pull up my Google Maps here to find out where Belgrave is, though. I can't say I'm familiar with that community.
Mike Armstrong settling into the hacks. He's going to look to replace that guard. Right now, the crotch double on the 2 reds is available. He's got to take that away.
So again, Mike is basically, I would say, a career lead player, these shots are just right up his wheelhouse.
In men's play, he did skip in juniors, actually won a provincial title.
That's right, based. So he did skip a little bit in, or he skipped in juniors, I think 1 year in men's, but primarily settled in as a very strong lead player, a good sweeper.
Well, decision time for the Cotterils, and I think they may have used their timeout. I'm not sure. They do get one timeout in the extra end as well. You could play the double peel again. The guards aren't really overlapped as much this time, so you could just run the tighter one in and try to kill the two. They're talking about a draw. The problem with the draw is if you try that here and don't make it, they throw one more guard and you don't have anything for your last one to even score.
Well, certainly as we saw from Katie's last shot there too, certainly has great weight, hit weight capabilities. That
well, looks like you're playing the draw.
Kind of, this is the all or nothing shot right here. The line's coming in nicely.
Line's good by the guard. Now really curling. They're going to have to go to get by the stone.
In the rings.
Just rubs off, but I think she spun far enough in to be shot rock. The problem with that is, now you'll see Mike Armstrong and Ashley Quick look at their timeout. If they could ever get to the nose of that stone, push it through, and sit right there, how do the Cotterils score?
And I think Ashley can probably only see about
she can't see all of it. They'll have
best.
to play it gentle if they're going to play that. The other option they're talking about, I think, is coming around from the intern. If they tap theirs up to the button, again, it might be a similar situation. Well, there'd be the angle tap for the yellows as well.
So it looks like they'll call probably a board weight here, working weight to get past that center guard.
Well, there's two ways you can play this. You can try to get to the nose and sit right there. You do have to flirt with the guard, or you could throw it a little harder and just blast it out of there and make sure you roll away so you don't give the Cotterils something to come in off of, and let them try to hit full 4-foot with the draw. They rubbed on that last one coming in. And of course, it's not back-to-back the same thrower either. It's the other thrower has to throw that same shot that they just about made the last time.
But first of all, Ashley needs to make this shot for them to even be concerned about that. And a precise shot like this, Mike opting to stay in the house, provide the target.
Well, definitely going with the quieter weight, so must be looking to get to the nose. If this doesn't come up, you may see, well, it's coming up. Now she's got to get by the guard.
Now to roll it away, so
now
it
they need to roll that away. Probably rolled away far enough that the draw is the easier shot.
So
needs full 4-foot here.
Full 4-foot, exactly. Say they just played this shot, but now it's a different thrower.
And you know, we've watched, even on our own sheet, all of the sheets, there's plenty of curl here. You can definitely get in. But from the hacks, it looks like you can only see enough of the 4-foot to score. Visually, it's not as appealing as you'd like it to be.
So the line's good. Starting
to curl now and really making a move towards the guard. And will rub. I think they were just kind of caught in no man's land because that was probably heavy if it does get by. So Mike Armstrong, Ashley Quick will pick up the steal to win their opening game. And now that is all of the games here in draw number 1 finalized. We'll quickly recap all of the scores. It was on sheet 2, Chelsea Carey and Colin Hudson picking up the win over Bob and Jody Smallwood. On sheet 3, Rachel Holman and Mark Nichols in 7 ends were 8-2 victors over Megan St. Amand and Chris Glabata. Sheet 4, our feature game, Laura Crocker and Jeff Walker win their opening game over Hugh and Janet Murphy. You also saw the tail end of the game on sheet 5 as Jim and Jalen Cotter picked up the 8-6 victory over Kyle Holland and Sabrina Smith. Jesse Kaufman and Brock Virtue on sheet 6 were 7-2 victors over Steve Laycock and Stephanie Lawton. Laura Brown and Nick Kaiser had a rough opening game against Lisa Weigel and John Epping. The final there ended up at 11-1. And on sheet 8, Jocelyn Peterman and Brent Gallat picked up an 11-7 victory over Mark Dacey and Jennifer Baxter. A lot of points scored in that one on both sides, and a lot of points across the 8 sheets here in this opening draw. We'll be back for draw number 2 at 11:30. Thanks for joining us this morning, and we'll see you again in just a little time. 11 o'clock, I guess it is.
Yes, 11 a.m. Saskatchewan
Draws
time.
have changed. Yes, 11 o'clock local time.